It was last weekend, and
home and personal care goods. So you can get produce pretty easily, low waste. You can get bulk goods like dry goods. But I was finding that when I was starting my low waste journey, I was struggling to get things like shampoo, conditioner, household cleaners without all that excess packaging. So as I was getting my own products, I was getting them online, which, as we know, isn't like the most eco-friendly way to get things, because they have to be shipped to you. And I was creating this list of the items that worked for me because I had a lot of friends coming to me and asking, okay, well, what should I get for a deodorant, or what should I get as a window cleaner? And I ended up with this really valuable resource being all of these items that I considered to be good. So I realized I could turn this into a shop, and I could have all of these here for my community to have easier access to have a better, like a greener access to. So when I was researching all of this, I took a trip out to Toronto with my family because they have a lot of low waste stores there, and I was able to talk to owners and get more information about how they do low waste and refill specifically. But I mean, I'm really excited to be here in Lansing and offer products that are really pretty difficult to get without a lot of packaging.
what can you give just a short? I mean, that was kind of an abbreviated. Maybe that was all of it. What products specifically? Can you be more specific about the products that you have?
Yeah. So we have things like shampoo, conditioner, body lotion, face cream, all-purpose soaps, toothpaste that come in recyclable aluminum containers, because that's the easiest product to recycle is aluminum. We know that like it's valuable enough that people do recycle it properly once we put it into the hands of the recycling facilities. We have toothbrushes, we have all-purpose cleaner, glass cleaner, Epsom salt, stain sticks, laundry detergent. And the majority of these items are liquid products that you bring your own container to me, and I'll weigh the container at the beginning and subtract that weight at the end so that you're only ever paying for what's inside the container. And what's nice about that too is that you can try a product out before committing to a large size of it. Because when I was ordering all of these things online and testing them, I could order a 16-ounce container of, let's say, laundry detergent. And that means I have to use the whole 16 ounces, even if it isn't a good product, if I don't want to waste it. So this gives people the opportunity to test something out before fully committing to a larger purchase of it. And that reduces waste in and of itself.
I'm trying to think of other questions. Now, when I talked to you, you said that you are getting some of these supplies locally.
Yes.
But how well does that work? It seems like you might run into some slowdowns or difficulties there, but do you have alternates when supplies are running short and local suppliers are not able to fulfill the orders?
Right. So that's actually a problem that is being kind of completed today. So I do work with a lot of local people. I try to keep all of these products as close to home as possible. And if I don't have a local option for it, there's a good reason for it. So the majority of these products are made in the USA. A good chunk of them are made in Michigan. And then another chunk of that is made in Lansing, which is really exciting. I think there might be one product that comes from overseas, and it's because of the care and attention to detail that that person puts into the product. But I'm going to let me flip my camera so that I can show you to my laundry detergent station. Let me see if I can flip my camera. You'd think that at this point in the pandemic, I'd know how to do these things. So over here is my 5-gallon container. And as you can see, it's empty. This was lemon laundry detergent from Fresh Coast Clean, and they are in Hazlet, Michigan. They're coming today with my order because I've upgraded it to a 10-gallon container so that I have a little bit more and can plan ahead more when I need to place an order from them, because they are a family that has kids and have other jobs, but I like their products a lot. I'm proud to be able to get something locally. So what's really nice with working with a local vendor is that when they come today with that 10-gallon container, they're going to take this container with them and they're going to refill that for me. So we're not getting a new plastic container every single time. And that's a question that a lot of people have when they come in. They're like, so how are you doing this? Where are these containers going when you're done? Because these are big plastic containers. Locally, I'm able to just switch back and forth. So this container has probably seen more than 100 gallons of laundry detergent at this point, and we'll see many, many more in its lifetime. So that's like a big benefit of working with local people. But we do run into hiccups where we run out of products. Since they're not a large company, they're ordering their products. And as we're seeing in the pandemic, there are supplies that run low and aren't being produced at the rate that we're used to. So it's been a few weeks since I've had laundry detergent in the shop because they ran out. But that's one of those, there are trade-offs in this whole thing. So it's deciding what's worth it to you. So to me, it's worth it to spend a couple extra bucks on conditioner that I know the container is not going into the landfill. I know that there are human beings being treated properly behind the products, that everyone who is making it is making a fair living wage. Those are things that are important to me, and it's all about deciding what's worth it to you. And that's not a judgment statement. Like, everybody has different values. And it's finding balance for all of that in your life.
Are there other people in this area, other stores that are offering comparable opportunities in terms of environmental, I don't know, doing things environmentally sound way, and similar products to yours? Are there other businesses that you know of that are doing this?
Absolutely, there are, but I don't believe they're doing it on the scale that we're doing it here at Clean Refillery. So right across the street from me is Soulful Earth, and she makes a lot of personal care items like soaps, lotions, and you can bring your containers back to her and she will refill containers that she has originally filled. So I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. Like, if you received a hair oil in this jar, this is the jar she gave you. You can bring it back to her when it's empty and she'll refill it. And lots of places will do that and offer a discount for it. The pandemic has kind of messed with that a little bit. So some places have discontinued those programs, unfortunately. Another place is Juice Nation. They're downtown Lansing, and they have a location in East Lansing. And they have a deposit system where you can bring your glass container that you got your drink from in them. They'll take it back and then they'll sanitize and refill that. So there are places that are doing things like that, but I'm not aware of any place in the Lansing area where you can get as many products and it's specifically dedicated to living a greener life.
Okay. Well, is there any, for one, does anybody else have a question to ask of Alexa? And Alexa, are there other things about the store that you might want to point out to the people that are in the Zoom meeting today?
Not specifically about the store, but about a low waste lifestyle. I think everybody kind of goes through some level of a journey when deciding how much they're able to give to living a greener life, because it is important. It doesn't directly affect us today, and some of us it won't affect our lives at all, but it's all about being like compassionate for the future generations. So in my lifetime, I don't know how much I will feel the effects of our environmental crisis, but I know that my grandchildren, my children, my great grandchildren will feel the effects. So it's really nice to see a big group of people who care, who are empathetic and compassionate in you guys. And with this, I've gone through times where it's been an unhealthy obsession with reducing my waste to the point where maybe I'll go a day and I don't eat lunch or dinner because I'm concerned about the packaging that my food will come in because I'm away from my home. I'm always encouraging people, find that healthy balance. It's okay to treat yourself to a cup of coffee, especially during the pandemic where we've lost so much. So many of us have lost more than just like the ability to bring our coffee cup to the coffee shop. People have lost their lives, and it's really important to prioritize community health, things like that. But I'm just always saying balance, balance, balance. Start with one thing, conquer it, and then move on to the next one because it seems so much easier after that.
Any questions for Alexa from anybody that's with us in the meeting today?
Yeah, I do. I have a question. So does everything have like one option, or are there some things like laundry or something that have a couple of different options for choosing stuff?
Do you mean like formulation or scent or both?
Like product, like when you go to a standard grocery store or a standard place and look for a shampoo, there's a ton of options. Obviously, I'm not wondering if you have a ton of options. I'm just wondering, is there one shampoo or is there several different brands of shampoo?
Right.
That kind of, but in different things like toothpaste as well and that kind of thing.
Right. So right now I'm at the point where I'm in the early stages of my shop, and I was fortunate enough to have saved enough money to not need to take out a loan. So all of this is kind of rolling on itself, and I'm planning on introducing more products and more brands. But this is our starting point right now. We do have options when it comes to, like, let's say these are our shampoos right now. We have 3 different scents of it. It's from the same brand, and they'll all do essentially the same thing. Some of them are better for drier hair, but they do essentially the same thing. But we can move across the shop, and we've got shampoo bars. So right now, what I have in the store is what I consider to be the top tier, the best. So anything I added from there until I've tried a new product, which is a slow process because I want to test everything really thoroughly before I bring it into the store, because it's not fair for me to bring something in and have you guys test it. So right now, everything I have in the store is what I consider to be like the best. I'm hoping to add more things in eventually, and I'm always taking suggestions because I do have customers who are trying products that I've never heard of or I haven't gotten the chance to try yet. So we're moving in that direction eventually one day, as we're able to bring in a little bit more funding and afford more of these products. But it's definitely like, that's the hope.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions? Well, while people are thinking about whether they might want to ask somebody else, just, I know this is on your website and available online, but what are your days that you're open and your hours, and once again, the address?
Yeah, so right now we're still in the testing period with our hours. I'm thinking we might be changing them in the next month or so to be open on Sundays and possibly closed on Tuesdays. But right now we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 6 p.m. And our website is cleanrefillery.com. You spell Refillery Refillery, so refill like distillery. And I'm sorry, what were your other questions, John?
Oh, just the address. What is it, 1136?
Oh, yep, we're 1136 South Washington Avenue, and we are unit 1/2. So if you see the octagon windows in Rio Town, we're one of those.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was not so much question as maybe comment. I recall many years ago, my brother and his wife using a similar service that was based in a weekly flea market. out in California. And hopefully your business grows to the point where you have an incentive to come to the farmer's market and provide that service here on this side of the community. It'll take us a while to get used to it and things, but hopefully that'll be an opportunity. And the other issue is we're talking about refilling of these products, but there are clearly a number of stores, and maybe an increasing number of stores, that before the pandemic were serving refilling containers with food. And it would be neat to see connections between the kinds of products that you're providing and some of the food products that we're able to refill in different food stores once it's safe to do that again. But
Yes, definitely.
Great business, and looking forward to making it out there and using your services.
Thank you so much. It's so funny because my plan was actually to move into farmers markets when I was creating Clean Refillery. This started in my mom's basement. So it was a delivery service in the greater Lansing area. And this space, which I told my sister I would love to be in this space, 2 weeks later, the person next door contacted me about it, saying it was opening. So it's so funny, like when you put things into the universe, that they happen. But initially my plan had been to move into farmers markets. And an issue that I bumped into with that is a lot of them have grants making them food focused. So being a resource for food deserts and things like that. So my service was not something that they could bring in because it doesn't fulfill what they need for those grants. But I definitely think it would be amazing to get into some farmers markets. I'd love to get in touch with the Meridian farmers market because I don't know what their regulations are there, but that was one that I was looking into before this space fell into my lap. But yeah, I'm also hoping that eventually, once things have slowed down and we're all getting a little safer and healthier with the pandemic, a project that I had in my head prior to all of this was working and educating restaurants on refilling customer containers and personally learning about what the regulations surrounding that are, because so much of the reason why these options aren't available are the regulations and food safety surrounding it. But it's always felt silly to me that you can't go to, I'm just thinking this is not where I would go personally, but this is my thought, like Panda Express, and they can't just dump it into your container. It has to be this plastic container that isn't even guaranteed to be sanitized. That's always seemed silly to me. So I would love to, if there are any people who are interested in learning more about that and working on a project like that, I'm in. So
yeah, we embarrass the heck out of our kids by taking our own containers to a restaurant.
Oh, that's not embarrassing. I do it too.
Usually the restaurant says, wow, that's a great idea, because they're not handling it. It comes off of my plate into my container, so it doesn't have to go in their kitchen.
Yeah, before the pandemic, when we had the option to sit in restaurants and dine, instead of ordering takeout, I would order dine in on that plate, scrape it onto my container, and leave almost immediately.
Well, I just want to say, Leroy, it looks like you posted something in the chat that has to do with a potential connection to the Meridian farmers market. And I think that would be available to you, Alexa. And if anyone in the group understands or knows about either the cost, I don't know what it costs to get a booth or, some space in the market, or what their restrictions are, what their qualifications are, to be able to pass that along to Alexa. You could just go to the Clean Refillery website and send a message over. It would be nice. That was one of the things that I thought of earlier this morning as well, to bring it to this area without having to have a storefront, because I know a storefront is going to be expensive and all, but to bring it to a market like that would be a great idea, and we'd love to see it over here.
Yeah,
I don't have any other.
that would be a dream.
Okay. I don't have any other thoughts right now, but if anybody has any other questions, if not right now, then even after the fact, after the meeting, definitely, I'm going to say this for you, Alexa. I assume that you would be willing to respond if somebody sends you, a question on your website. And
Oh,
hopefully
absolutely.
folks will stop by and just say hello and maybe pick up a product that works for them.
Yeah, if you come by the shop, let me know that you were in the meeting and let's chat. I'd be happy to do that. And then on my website, all the contact information, social media information is at the bottom.
Well, once again, thanks for joining us and passing this along to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna pop out because I've got some customers coming in. See you.
Okay, bye.